What truly happened the moment Kim Taehyung stepped off that plane was the world prepared for the emotional storm that followed. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your interaction helps uncover the moments the media tries to hide. From Los Angeles to Seoul, from the quiet hum of a long-haul flight to the roar of a crowd that refused to be silent, Kim Taehyung's return to Korea became a spectacle no one saw coming. What was meant to be a simple arrival turned into an emotional whirlwind that left journalists scrambling, fans breathless, and the global entertainment world questioning once again. How does one man create such a seismic reaction just by coming home? It began with whispers, the kind that travel faster than official press releases, hinting that Taehyung had boarded a flight out of Los Angeles after completing a schedule that kept media on high alert. No one, however, expected his return to unfold with the intensity of a breaking international event. But isn't that the pattern with Kim Taehyung? One minute he's quietly moving through airport corridors, and the next the entire digital landscape is shaking under the weight of his presence. The moment the first unconfirmed sighting appeared online, a grainy photo of someone who might have been him entering a Los Angeles terminal, the speculation began. Fans, reporters, airport staff, and even travelers caught in the chaos found themselves asking the same question. Was Kim Taehyung really on that flight? Hours passed slowly as time's own shifted. Flights ascended and descended, and the possibility of his return grew from rumor to expectation, and from expectation to full-scale anticipation. By the time his plane was recorded approaching Incheon airspace, the airport had transformed into a living organism, pulsating, restless, waiting. The air inside the arrival hall was thick with adrenaline. Security officials tightened their formation. Photographers jockeyed for position. Fans clutched banners, light sticks, handwritten letters, and trembling phones. Some had arrived hours earlier, while others rushed straight from work or school. Whether one was a long-time follower or a casual onlooker, the atmosphere was undeniable. This wasn't just an idol coming home. It was an event. And then the sliding doors separated, almost hesitantly, as if aware that they were about to introduce a moment that would reverberate far beyond the airport itself. At first, Taehyung's silhouette was the only visible clue. Tall, graceful, unmistakable, even in shadow. The crowd inhaled sharply, as though collectively preparing for the sight they had been waiting for. Phones rose like a synchronized wave. Reporters leaned forward, microphones primed. It was only when he stepped fully into the light, head slightly bowed, expression calm yet unreadable, that the world seemed to snap back into motion. What happened next was a collision of sound, shouts of Taehyung, overlapping with clicking shutters, journalists calling his name, and fans gasping, crying, laughing, and pleading all at once. But despite the noise, there was a certain softness in the way he moved. His steps were unhurried, measured, as if he wanted to absorb this moment rather than rush through it. His eyes, even behind tinted lenses, carried warmth. His wave was brief but heartfelt, a gesture that felt like a silent, "I missed you too." It begs the question, why does Kim Taehyung's presence evoke such emotional extremes? The answer, perhaps, lies in the delicate balance he carries between global celebrity and human sincerity. His actions, simple, genuine, uncalculated, often trigger reactions typically reserved for headlines, involving global leaders or major world events. And in that airport, with the world watching, he once again blurred the line between artist and phenomenon. The media frenzy wasn't limited to South Korea. By the time he walked out of Incheon, international outlets had already begun running real-time updates, dissecting his outfit, his expressions, his gestures, his interactions with staff and fans. Social media exploded with trends within seconds. Hashtags multiplied, fan edits appeared instantly, each capturing a different angle or moment of his arrival. Some showed him walking calmly, exuding quiet charisma. Others highlighted the emotional faces in the crowd, underscoring the depth of the bond between Taehyung and those who await him. But there was something different about this return, a subtle, emotional undercurrent that caught people off guard. Perhaps it was the intensity of the past weeks. with his schedule in Los Angeles drawing global interest. Perhaps it was the anticipation surrounding his next move, his next project, his next public appearance. Or perhaps it was simply the fact that no matter how many times he travels, performs, records, or collaborates, fans never quite stop feeling that sense of longing when he is away and release when he returns. In the midst of the cameras and chaos, Taehyung paused briefly to adjust his bag, an everyday movement with no special significance. Yet for those who saw it, the moment felt intimate, grounding, a reminder that behind the global superstar is a human being, navigating intense attention with remarkable grace. It created a ripple of emotion through the crowd. Some smiled through tears, others whispered reassurances as though he could hear them. His calm presence, paradoxically, amplified the excitement around him, turning even the most mundane gestures into moments of connection. As he moved toward the exit, escorted by staff and guards who struggled to maintain order, fans continued to reach out not physically, but emotionally. They shouted support, promises, encouragement. Some held up artwork they had created. Others raised phrases written in dozens of languages, proof of how far his influence stretches. It wasn't merely admiration. It was a shared history, a mutual understanding built over years of music, performances, interviews, and silent moments that spoke louder than words. Observers unfamiliar with the K-pop world might have wondered why one man's return caused such commotion. But those who understand Taehyung's artistry, his voice, his presence, his gentle approach to the world, knew exactly why. This wasn't chaos. It was love manifested in its most explosive form. And the emotional weight wasn't confined to the fans. Even reporters admitted that moments like these were impossible to witness without feeling something stir. There was a certainty in the air that this return marked the beginning of something new. Taehyung's departure from Los Angeles had felt like the closing of one chapter, a chapter filled with global campaigns, unexpected sightings, and international headlines. His return to Seoul, however, felt like the turning of a page towards something even bigger. What projects await him? What schedules will follow? What surprises does he have planned? The unanswered questions only added to the intensity of his homecoming. And if history is any indication, every move he makes will ripple across entertainment, fashion, music, and culture with astonishing speed. As he finally disappeared behind the exit doors, shielded from the crowd by a protective wall of staff, the noise began to settle. Fans slowly lowered their phones, some wiping tears, others smiling in disbelief. It felt like waking from a dream, one made real by the presence of someone whose impact continues to defy explanation. Outside, cars revved, night air thickened, and Seoul seemed to glow brighter as if welcoming back someone who carries pieces of it wherever he goes. Even after he left the airport grounds, the story continued. Fans stayed behind, exchanging emotions, replaying videos, sharing experiences. News outlets rushed to publish updates. Global fan bases created translations in record time. Digital timelines became mosaics of excitement, relief, admiration, and anticipation. Thousands of comments echoed the same sentiment: he's home. And yet, the biggest question lingered like a spark waiting to ignite. What happens next? What unseen chapter is Taehyung silently preparing to reveal? His past movements have shown that surprises often follow his quietest moments, and his return to Korea may very well mark the start of one of those unexpected waves the world senses before it sees. His arrival wasn't just a moment for fans, it was a reminder of his power, his artistry, his charm, his human warmth, and the profound connection he shares with people across continents. It was a reminder that even in a world oversaturated with headlines, Taehyung remains the rare figure whose mere presence can stop time, bend narratives, and set the global conversation ablaze. And so the story continues. One hot beat, one rumor, one confirmed appearance at a time. The world watches waiting, hoping, buzzing with energy because Kim Taehyung's journey from Los Angeles to Seoul wasn't just a flight. It was the beginning of another chapter no one is quite ready for, but everyone is eager to witness. What surprise will he unveil next? Only time will tell, and the world is listening.